Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a Talking with a Dad Talking Heads episode here. We have some news, UFC 249 news. We have some news about the potential close down of all of the regional and global theater chains. We are getting hot and heavy into it tonight. What do you want to start out with, Stevie? You want to start out with the movie stuff? That's going to be the shorter topic, I believe.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start out with the shorter topic.
So,
Something that's beloved by people. Somewhere you go, you've been going. AMC is a staple in our community. Beautiful theaters across North America, and I believe some even in South America. Zach, it looks like this whole thing piqued my interest because I've been monitoring pretty closely, right?
yes, he has.
What he who shall not be named going on and things being the way that they are right now.
The pandemic.
Zach, we've thrown back and forth a few times. What is the future of media consumption in regards to movie theaters? And
so it's not looking good, right? So there's we're referencing here a article written by Deadline.com about the fact that if the AMC theaters can't reopen by around June or July, the fact that they're going to be out of money, right? These people and they're still paying rent for all of their places, right? They're probably the most expensive rent other than a Cornerstone store in any major mall around the country. They're all over the place, right? So AMC movie theaters kind of said, and their CEO has said that they really have enough money to last until about midsummer. But if the theaters don't reopen by June-ish, that there's a chance that they're going to go under. I think at that point, I think the government's going to step in on a lot of things. If we're locked down, quarantined until June, I would imagine that the government's going to step in and maybe forego mortgage payments and rent in a lot of places, because I think that would be a severe economic hit, and that would kind of save AMC in most of these big box stores, I believe. But as of right now, AMC has furloughed all of their workers.
The CEO included.
The CEO included. Everyone right now is on hold. No one's getting paid in the theater industry. There's no movies are coming out, right? So
this is interesting because this is not just a local incident that's happening with just AMC. This actually stretches into what's going on with Hollywood, globally. But we're talking about this one scope here. What's actually going on in Hollywood right now? There's a huge amount of fear.
Yeah.
In that industry about when we're to the point where they're releasing leaks just to keep people interested. Just this week alone, Disney has released some of its own leaks so many times to keep people tuning into what's going to happen on shows that didn't get to complete filming. Same thing's going on over at WB in the DCEU. Same thing's going on with Sony. Movies have been pushed back that were slated for 2021 to 2022. And that also ties into this whole AMC local theater situation, because there's a good chance there won't be any content to release.
So there are plenty of movies right now in post, right? So you probably, I would think, probably 10 or 12 major movies in post-production.
Au contraire.
You think hold on. You think there are 0 movies right now sitting on the editing room floor that can't be moved?
Hold on for a second. We're not talking about the type of movies you take your grandmother and your parents to because you have Movie Pass and you're able to sneak 2 of those people in for free. No, we're talking about the type of movies that keep movie theaters open, right?
So major films.
Major films, blockbusters. If I'm to believe what the major trades are reporting, most movies that were scheduled to be released this summer have been pushed back an entire year.
Really?
Yes.
Most movies that would be released this summer post-production.
But wait, let me explain the thinking behind that, because they're thinking long term. They being the industry and the theaters themselves. How long until people return? It's not just about the theaters opening up. It's about the public's comfortability and returning to these theaters, and when they're going to be able to get the butts back in the seats. And I got to be honest with you, man. Like at first, we were joking around about the streaming and is it going to go to streaming and stuff like that. Only one large company has stepped out to break what's coming, as I think is the tide. Remember, you heard it here first at Talking Dad, and maybe a few other smaller YouTube channels.
No, just here. Just here.
So Disney has gone ahead and given Black Widow a theatric release date thus far. There's a few reasons that's happened, right?
Did they announce the theatric release date? I'm sorry, I missed it.
No, they didn't announce it.
They said it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
But there's a few things, and Zach is gonna love this. Why this has to happen? One, they got to make sure they keep the things good with the theaters, just in case this whole thing blows over. Two, it's the second all-female lead movie that's coming out for Disney, and they do not want. This is all speculation. To do that, where they're like, people have been waiting for a Black Widow movie for a while, Zach. I know this is big news to you.
Right. But huge. Breaking.
There's actually a whole story behind that. The guy who used to be in charge of the MCU, like just directly above Kevin Feige, said when he was in charge, no Black Panther, no female leads. That's on public record.
Interesting. Interesting. I feel like you shoot yourself in the foot there, man. I feel like there's some pretty dope female leads you could potentially have.
But some people said they should have released that first. But at any rate, Disney's gone out on the limb, and they said they're going to hold their theatric date. They pushed the one movie that you really enjoy, that you have the book series on. That's going to Disney Plus.
Artemis Fowl, yep.
So we'll see how this whole thing pans out.
Here's also a thought I have on this.
Go for it.
I don't know how the contract works, but if they set a theatrical date and the theaters can't release it, do they get out of that contract?
You know what, Zach?
I would think
we've only known each other for a little while, but I knew you were going to
I gotta go to loopholes, man. I gotta go to loopholes. Do they get out of that? My thought would be yes. They get out of it because one party can withhold their
content.
No, there's a actual legal word for it. Contractual duties, right? That's what I'll call it for now. Can the other side hold that? No, that usually voids a contract. It voids a contract in every aspect of business. So,
yeah, I did some more research. I did some more research on our other conversation in regards to how they would release these IPs into the media, and it's not that hard, right? So Disney, it does have contracts with Apple TV. They still have contracts with Google Play, so they can release it. They lose about $14.99 times 3, right? On average, about the amount of people that take a family to a movie theater. But they still get that sell.
So did you actually look up this number? Because that number doesn't seem logical to me, because generally what happens is the AMC, buys the rights to play that movie in their
right. So I looked up the metrics and how they would break it down for the streaming services without the medium, right? So this is what Disney's. So you got to take into account that AMC is more than likely buying that right at a certain margin. So Disney's now going to release these. I'm just using them because they're the most notable person, and they're easy for me to say.
Disney.
On average, how many people do you think? Let's start here. On average, how much do you think it costs to buy a movie? I know you stream everything illegally, but how much does it cost to buy a movie on Google Play? Would you say?
$15.
You're very close. You're a penny off. So
it's $14.99.
Yeah, it's $14.99. But this is how they get you, man. It says $14.99, and you click it. Your kid's like, "Dad, you're the greatest," and then you realize it's like $18.99, and now you can't look like a punk in front of your kid. Like, I gotta whip it out. I gotta keep doing what I gotta do here.
Okay, so but they make that money directly, right?
They make that money directly, but it ruins the chance for repeat sales. Why did Endgame make over $1 billion?
Because you went and saw it 19 times.
Exactly. With your credit card, 18 of those times. But repeat business. Repeat business. Now, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying that they're trying to figure out a way, according to most trades, how they can make this more profitable for them without feeling like the villain.
Here's the answer.
Okay, here we go.
Amazon does this already, right? This is how I watch Fight Club, right? I paid $8 or whatever it was, probably $4, to rent Fight Club in HD for like 24 hours.
Right.
Don't do $14.99. Do $7.99 and do rental for 48 hours.
Right.
Because for me at least, I don't want to watch a movie back to back. Right. I want to watch it, and then that same time next week I'll watch it again. Right. So then I bought the rental. Cool. I have it in the back of my head. I have it. I'm gonna go back and watch it. Fuck, I gotta buy it again. And there's your $16. Right. So obviously it's $30 versus 16. You're making half, but you're gonna get people on it. You're gonna get tons of people on it. So that's my thought there. We can move away from this topic. It looks like.
Oh, wait, hold on for a second. I want to. If we had sound effects, I would play sound effects for AMC. I'm just going through my head because we're about to move on to a very BS topic in my mind. And I'm gonna get fired.
I think so too. I think
no, it's
so
not
too.
BS, but we're both fight fans and we really enjoy it. But I just want to say, if AMC goes under, man, that's where am I gonna go play Aliens versus Predator, the shooter game, for $1.25 a shot? Where else can I do that besides AMC?
You know, I could sell you a lot of places, really, but if AMC shuts down, Steve, I have a business opportunity for us. So let's talk about that off air. Let's move over here to the other topic. Actually, probably at this point going to be the faster topic now. I have the full lineup for UFC 249. We're getting the Sierra Mist to the Sprite that we really wanted. Ferguson versus people like Ferguson. No. I literally said I would rather have it postponed. Ferguson versus Gaethje. Right. Interim light heavyweight title. Interim lightweight title. Sorry, not light heavyweight. They'd be going way up in class for that. Which is actually, this turns into a pretty good card, actually. Just throwing off a few fights here. You got obviously Gaethje versus Ferguson, which I don't think it's going to be very competitive. Unfortunately, you have Andrade versus Namajunas. That's a really good fight. As long as
it's a rematch.
Yes, it is. As long as Namajunas doesn't try to hold on to a Kimura for way too long again. You have Vicente Luque versus, I forget Price's Nico Price, I think. I
must be looking at an old one. I got Islam. Is he still on? Is Islam still on the card?
This is the card that I have. This is what was released by the UFC.
Okay, good.
Ferguson Gaethje, Andrade Namajunas 2, Hardy versus De Castro. Don't care about that fight. Luque versus Price. Jeremy Stevens versus Calvin Kattar. That's a really good fight. Francis Ngannou versus Rosenstruik. Uriah Hall versus Jacare. And then it kind of just trails off from there. But that is actually not a bad fight card. This would actually be a really good fight card under different circumstances.
Yeah, that's not bad. There are a lot of better fights on the preliminary card. All right, buddy. Give me 1 second. I'll be right with you. We got Lehman Good versus Bilal Muhammad. Are you up on Bilal Muhammad?
I've heard of him, but I not as much as I probably should be.
His Twitter game, black belt level.
Oh, really? Okay.
Black belt.
That's fair. So
here's what I think about the main card, right? I disagree only slightly that it's going to be competitive. I think it will be competitive for the first 2 rounds. And then
you give him 2 rounds.
I give him 2 rounds only because Gaethje is, he's
not a terrible striker, but a little sloppy.
Just very sloppy. I want to walk back some stuff here. I'm going to give it 2 competitive rounds, and it's going to go either way because Tony notoriously gets beat up for the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, for sure.
Of first 2 rounds of fights, and that's usually why he's feeling people out. But this ain't what I'm paying for, man. And you know what? I respect it. I'm a fight fan. I'm going to tune in. This will be the first fight night that I have at the house in a while when no one's going to be invited over. Right? Like no one.
I'm going to be here.
I think this was bad business on the part of UFC, but I understand the need to be able. They got to pay people, and to pay people, they got to create content to keep the company afloat. You got to do stuff like that.
I agree. So I have a thought here, and this is not a great thought, but you're going to remember this moment most likely.
Okay.
Do you think Dana is trying to do what the Mets did after 9/11? Do you remember this?
I think hold on. Do you
remember the Mets continued to play that game because they wanted to live life like in normalcy. And then Piazza hits that home run, and it's one of the most iconic sports moments maybe of all time. Right?
Yes.
Is this the same thing, or is this woefully irresponsible?
I don't think it's woefully irresponsible. I wouldn't go that far. And I don't think it's altruistic. I think that it's somewhere in the middle of both those things where there is a great amount of good that comes with putting this card on. Will Dana be able to pay employees if this card does extremely well? Yes. Does it bring a sense of normalcy back to people and fans who are without sporting events, who don't watch the WWE?
Yep.
Yes. Is it irresponsible? No. It's only irresponsible if Dana does anything short of protecting everyone involved in the card. So this is where the world's going to be watching. And you heard it here first. If one person comes down with it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's really bad optics.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they volunteered. It's going to look really, really bad. You know what this is good for, though? It's good for the bookies, Zach, and I'm sure you're aware of this. Atlantic City to Vegas, off-site bookies that have been shut down, and things have gone a little bit underground. We're going to get some betting action now. So this is what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if this is the only game in town, what the viewership's going to be like. Are people that starved? Man, are they that starved?
Here's the real thought.
Right? Drop
the pay-per-view price. Don't make it $65 plus the $5 bullshit ESPN subscription, right?
Right.
Give it to us for $25. You sell 100 million pay-per-views. No one has anything else to do globally. Right? Everything is shut down worldwide. Drop it $25. Everyone will buy it. I'll buy it twice. I'll watch it on both computers.
Here's the thing. I'm going to give you a little fight math. That would have been more likely if it was Khabib versus Ferguson. But Khabib versus Gaethje, you know what I'm saying? Like you can almost pull that off. You can pull that off with Khabib versus Ferguson because then it's like you finally get this fight that everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah, but there's only a select few of us that have been waiting for this fight for some amount of time, right? There's 10 million people who are waiting for this fight. Right.
Hold on for a second. No. Hold on. I got to disagree with you there. This thing has grown into a urban legend of sorts, and in fact, when you get people talking about it, the lead up prior to the pandemic about this fight and how it's been jinxed and cursed, and is it going to happen? And that's the good thing that's coming out of ESPN. Let's be real about this. ESPN's promotion of the UFC has a further reach than Fox Sports.
Oh, ever? Yeah.
It's like now you're dipping into you're dipping your toe into the real niche of the sports world. Sure. I agree. Do the $25 if they can do that and still pull it off with this card as is. That's great. But I'm just saying,
happily pay $25 for it.
I know you would.
I'm going to pay $65 for it. To be fair, right? No, I'm just being honest with myself, right? I'm going to pay the $65 for it, but I'm in that 250, 300,000 people who are going to purchase that. And honestly, in the ESPN era, if this sells 300,000 pay-per-views, I would be ecstatic if I were ESPN and WME and Dana White.
You know what's going to be great about this, though, is I want to see the venue.
It's not announced. Unannounced, by the way.
I know.
It's going to be somewhere in Florida, for sure. I would think that the venue is going to be somewhere in Florida. But short of that, I don't know. Who cares? Who cares where it is? I just want it to happen.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going to watch it too, and we can wrap it up on this. So to answer your question, no, it's not what the Mets did after 9/11, but it's somewhere in between there and being completely irresponsible.
Okay.
And we're going to be covering it here at Talking with a Dad.
Absolutely.
If everything blows up in Dana's face, we're going to be right there.
Absolutely, Dana.
He provides corporate sponsorship for this channel.
Absolutely. They're going to pay us not to talk.
And we're not even going to talk about how some guy tried to extort Dana White and all that stuff because that's happening in the background.
Yeah, who cares about that? I mean, that's a different time. Maybe that's a podcast topic rather than a show topic. Well, everyone, thank you for watching Talking with a Dad here. Check us out on all of our social medias, all at Talking with a Dad, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, MySpace.
You pulled that back together good.
I know I did. I'm good at this, man. I honestly, my dream job for a long time has been radio. This is really me doing my propers here. Remember to hit the like button. Comment down below what you think of the topics tonight. What do you think AMC is going to do? How do you think this UFC card is going to go? Any more topics you guys want us to see us cover, we'd be happy to talk about it. Big episode coming out tomorrow. We got Valorant beta. It'll I'll actually probably have some footage for it. I believe the embargo is entirely lifted.
Wait, Zach.
What's up?
Zach. You got into the open beta, man.
I know we talked about it already.
No, this is not something. No,
it's a closed beta. It's a closed beta.
Closed beta. This is not something to like to scoff at. Your hustle game is black belt level, man. Are you gonna rep in there? Are you gonna listen? Are you?
What do you want me to do?
Are you gonna be politically correct, Zach, or are we gonna get the Zach back that we know and love?
Oh, we're not gonna get. We're going deep with it. But
we're getting full rage mode. Zach.
We're going tomorrow. There's gonna be. I'm gonna shut all the audio off. I'm turning my mic off. I'm gonna get some gameplay for us. I'll probably get 30 minutes.
Are you streaming?
I don't think I could do that.
That's right. Sorry.
Right. Actually, I can because I'm only gonna be playing after hours.
Okay.
So probably not. We'll see how I like it. If I like the game, I will stream it. But That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Be excited for tomorrow's video.